Hey everybody, today we're going to be taking a look at the Craftsman Max Axess Mechanics toolset. This is going to be my first YouTube review, so at the end of the video give me some tips. If you notice anything I do wrong, just post some comments. I'll take any advice into consideration. So getting right into it, like I said, this is the Max Axess Mechanics toolset. This happens to be the 80-piece version. They do make various sizes. It does come in two finishes. This one happens to be the full polish chrome version. The other choice that you have is black oxide. I chose the full polish chrome for a specific reason that I'll get to later. But just know it does come in both variations, and like I said, various sizes. This is the 80-piece set. They have ones larger and smaller than this. This is the largest one I could find of full polish chrome. So what you're looking at inside is a complete ratchet set. It comes with 1/4 inch and 3/8 inch drive sizes, and the associated sockets for both. So you have your 3/8 inch sockets as well as your smaller 1/4 inch. You do get both ratchets with the set, 3/4 inch. And they do have a pretty fine tooth in there. It's 72 teeth in each ratchet, so it's a pretty small arc for how far you have to turn to get your ratcheting. That's a nice feature that they have. So moving on, I believe that the target audience for this product is the do-it-yourselfer, the at-home mechanic who's just got a couple vehicles to maintain. He's going to use it for projects around the house, things like that. It's clearly not a professional toolkit. Craftsman in general, their lifetime warranty, which is a major selling point, it's not intended for professional use. If that's your job, you're gonna probably lean towards something like Snap-on. It's a big difference in price, but I believe technically the Craftsman warranty does not cover professional use. So if you broke it on the job, they're not supposed to replace it. So that is kind of a drawback. But for someone like me, like I said, I only have a couple vehicles that I want to maintain, and I don't do it professionally. It's perfect. Given that, I think I kind of overspent on this kit. Because I'm not a professional, I really have no use for most of these Torx bits and like the Allen keys in 3/8 or 1/4 inch. You get both. Those are pretty much going to waste on me. I don't have any use for them. So this kit of the 80-piece kit cost me $90 on sale at Sears. I probably, if I was going to buy it again, I would go down a size or two, give up those Torx and Allen keys, and as long as what you get in the kit is 1/4 inch 3/8, both extensions, the converters, which we'll talk about later, and as many actual Max Axess sockets as you can get, that's what I would look for in the set. I wouldn't look for any of the Torx or anything if I were to buy it again. I do think I probably overspent on this. That said, the price includes that Craftsman lifetime warranty, like I mentioned. What you need to realize about that lifetime warranty, it's going to be the lifetime of the tool. If this tool breaks 5 years from now and they're no longer making these ratchets or sockets, they're not going to replace it. It's only for the lifetime of the tool. It's not your lifetime. So if you're really looking on getting one ratchet for the rest of your life, go with their normal teardrop ratchet design. We'll get to the advantages of the pass-through system in a second, but if you're really looking for one set of tools for the rest of your life, I would steer clear of this. This is somewhat gimmicky, and I don't think it's going to be made forever, so just keep that in mind. While we're looking at the box, one other thing to point out, as you can see, made in China. Not all Craftsman tools are created equally anymore. It used to be that everything was made in the US, not the case anymore. This is clearly an outsourced product. It's actually a copy of the Gearwrench Vortex sockets, which both companies, Gearwrench and Craftsman, are both produced by Apex Tools. So it's not like anything shady is going on there, but it is clearly just a copy. So let's take a look at the pros of the system. It does have that pass-through design. So what that allows you to do is, even with a socket on the ratchet, you can get this right over a bolt and it'll pass directly through, if you can see that, and get down onto the fastener. So where I found this handy, I recently had to take the battery out of my vehicle, and the terminals on the battery actually stick out quite far. My normal deep sockets wouldn't even work. It was too far. So this really came through in that instance. I would have had to use like a box wrench or something. Or a ratcheting wrench. The Craftsman has those now too. So that's the main advantage of this system, is that pass-through design. Like I said, there have been other wrenches in the past, like the Gearwrench Vortex sockets, that do exactly the same thing. But this is Craftsman with a Craftsman warranty, so I think Apex Tools just figured they could broaden their market by switching the name. This set, I do like that it comes with a lot of sockets. It goes all the way up to 19 millimeter and 7/8 inch. So you've got a pretty wide range there. Of both metric and imperial sockets. They seem really well made. I don't expect them to break right away. They're pretty thick walled, if you can see. There you go. So they're pretty thick walled. They're the standard hexagon shape, 6 points. The black oxide version, it does come with some new socket design that's supposed to work on 6 different types of fasteners. I don't know if I trust that or not. It seems a little bit like voodoo to me. So I like the full polished chrome first and foremost. While I was actually doing a repair on my car, I managed to drop the 1/4 inch ratchet behind my engine block. All it took was a quick shine of a flashlight, and I could see this thing from behind my engine block. So that's the main reason I went with full polish. With black oxide, that would be just about impossible. It's going to be flat black. It's going to be hard to reflect some light off of it and see it if you drop it in your engine. And I guess I'm a klutz. I do that. I did it more than once on one project, so it did come in handy. I don't regret getting this over the black oxide version, even though I do aesthetically like the black oxide. I think it looks really nice. It's just not worth losing sockets over. Now, the warranty, like I said, this is kind of a gimmick product, so I don't know how long that's going to be good for. Beyond that, I don't think this stuff's really going to break, and none of it's broken on me so far, so I can't really comment on what people say, which is that you can just walk into Sears, hand them the broken ratchet or the broken socket, and walk out with a new one. I don't know that that's true. It was a selling point for me. I did base part of my purchase on that, but just bear in mind the possible limitations on that. Now, some of the downsides of the system, if you compare this to just a standard Ratchet system, it's going to cost you a lot more. As a point of comparison, this is a deep socket set from Stanley that I got at Walmart. I believe at the time it was $9.95. It comes with metric and imperial sockets. It says that they're deep. They're really not too deep. Even if you look at them, they're only about half as deep as how they appear because they stop like halfway through. I'm sure that was to save manufacturing costs. It's $10, so I don't really fault them on that. But for most people, this is going to be enough as like a home repair kit. If your kid's tricycle breaks or something, this would do it for you. $9.95 takes care of 80% of problems you might have. So this is what most people are going to want. And beyond that, there was some limitations with the pass-through socket system. If you take a look, we'll do an identical setup with the pass-through and the standard sockets. So we're going to take our 1/4 inch ratchet, our 1/4 inch extension, and just because it's what I happen to use at the time, an 8mm socket. As you can see, it's nice and pretty. You get the pass-through. It's all great. But for what I was using it for, which was to replace the camshaft position sensor on the engine block, I really didn't need that pass-through. They're just bolts. There's nothing for it to actually pass through. So take a look at that. We will compare it apples to apples with that Stanley set that I just showed you. Just assemble it over here. And right away, I can point out two problems to you with the pass-through sockets. A, that extension is very short. They don't actually make any longer extensions for these yet. I believe Gearwrench does, and they are compatible. But it is very short, so you're not going to get a lot of reach. I didn't need a lot of reach in this situation, but what I did need was thinness. To actually get at that camshaft position sensor, I had to run through a couple of hoses. This just was not going to do it. If you see how thick that is, primarily right there where the actual socket plugs into the extension. Try to do this on camera. Very thick. We can compare that to this. And you can see quite a difference there, especially if you remove this socket. That was very easy to slip through those hoses, put this on the other end, and ratchet those bolts out. So it does have some limitations that are just inherent in the pass-through design. It needs to be thick enough to get that bolt through there if you need to. So there are some downsides to it. That was a comparison against just a standard ratchet. I do actually happen to have the older Gearwrench version of the same design. This is what's called Gearwrench Vortex. If you take a look at that, and you can see it's exactly the same. They clearly just copied the ratchet over and printed Craftsman on it. That said, I think the Craftsman one is slightly better quality. It is full tang metal, whereas this has some kind of plastic insert. It's not even rubber. It's plastic. So I think this one probably is slightly more durable. But where you're really going to break it is in that mechanism, and they are exactly the same. The throw handles are a little different, but they feel exactly the same. So I don't expect you're going to get much more versatility out of the Craftsman, than you would out of the Gearwrench. So that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions or comments, just post. I'm going to try to keep a close eye on the video, make sure that I'll get back to you in an expedient manner. The only other thing I might add is the Gearwrench and Craftsman sockets and ratchets are interchangeable. This Gearwrench kit that I have, its sole design purpose is for taking out oil pan drain plugs. So it has a magnetic core, so it's not even a pass-through really, because it has a magnetic core in there, and it has a finger adjustable. Those do work with either one. So having that set, I can just pop this into my 3/8 inch Craftsman one, and it works just fine. Other accessories that come in this, you do actually get converters, so you can take your pass-through ratchet, apply a converter, and then use your standard tools with it. I do like that feature, as well as you do also get a conversion which goes 3/8 to 1/4 inch. So if you wanted to use one of your smaller sockets with your 3/8 inch ratchet for better leverage, that is an option that's available to you. If you guys have any questions, if you want to see anything, let me know. If you have any tips about the video in general, cinematography, did I talk too much, did I talk too fast, anything's helpful. Like I said, this is my first video. Let me know what you guys want to see, and I will keep throwing stuff up in the meantime. So if you feel like it, check back, maybe subscribe, maybe like, whatever you feel inclined to do. Thank you very much for watching.